Recently, I have retired from my position as a teacher, but you know, you are also teacher, most of us, so there is no problem. The teacher is never retired; he is always on the job.
Right?
So it has been requested to me that I have to discuss with you certain aspects of research and the research process. Uh, Going into the detail of it, uh, let us let us go to the uh, oh, let me check. Okay, yes. See, there are different purposes of research, and as I understand that all of us, maybe few, barring few, uh, they are they have already conducted their research and they have passed their PhD course. They have again there they have attained their PhD degree with so much of effort and so much of dedication, devotion, continuous work, because this PhD degree is something different as compared to the other type of degrees which we are taking up to our graduation and the post-graduation level. So here it is, the focus is completely different in case of PhD, and the way we handle this, that is also different. So in this case, having understood and having done PhD at our end, first question is then why I am going to discuss this with you. Once you have already gained this degree, and there is nothing so special that we should reconsider that. But there is one thing which is going on in our mind related to this particular discussion which I am going to have with you now. See, when we are doing our research, there are two ways in which we are going to collect and we are going to decide the topic on which we have to conduct our research. Just after you passing the PG courses, we go to our supervisor, we get the admission, and then after we reach the supervisor, the research guide, and sometimes as a researcher we are having our own ideas that okay, I should conduct research in this particular area or on this particular research topic, or at least in this particular subject. So that can be considered in that case. So we are taking up in that manner. But most of the time we find that okay, a student they come that I have got admission under you and I have to conduct my PhD. I have to write my PhD thesis. So if you are asking as a supervisor, okay, which topic, then he will say that okay, please give me the topic and I will do according to that. There are two approaches which we find in case of this. Some of the researchers, some of the guides, they are focusing their research on a particular field. And in that particular field also, they have narrowed down to certain type of product or systems or being in management on different type of businesses, different type of processes. We consider that. So in that case, what happens? He is going to suggest you that okay, you should conduct your, you should get your work in this particular field, in this particular area. So here, it is the supervisor-driven topic on which we are going to conduct our research. This is one. In this case, supervisor is more comfortable because he is having ample amount of knowledge and resources and material with him. So he will be in a better position to guide the person. Sometimes we also find that at the time of registration, the student they say that, okay, this topic, all right, sir, I am going to continue with this. But at later stage, when he studies that and he comes to the actual work, then at that time he finds that, okay, so there is some problem in this topic and I am not able to understand that, or my background is not supporting, but somehow due to this relationship between the supervisor and the candidate, I have accepted it. So one problem which we face as a supervisor is that we request the Board of Studies and the Committee for Advanced Studies and Research as we are having in our university system, to modify the change the topic. So this change of topic, minor changes, major changes, duration in that case, the difference, that is one problem which the candidates faces and the supervisor also faces in that case. So this is the supervisor-driven topic on which we work and we get our PhD degree. During this course, we have to study so many things, whatever the supervisor suggests. And by doing that, we also acquire knowledge in that. And sometimes we find that, okay, as a candidate, we are also comfortable. Whatever topic has been given and I have studied that, I know the things. So I am comfortable with that and I am going to do it. There is no problem in that case. So this is one. Other condition is that the candidate himself is going to bring the topic. That, okay, I want to conduct research on this particular topic, sir. What is the, on what basis you, as a supervisor, on what basis you think that, okay, you will be able to do this? And the candidate is going to tell that, okay, I have already studied that, so many journals, so many papers, some researches I have already seen, and it is, I know these things which are the components of it, and we will be doing that. So as a supervisor, we have to see that in which manner the candidate will have to be guided. Sometimes the supervisor is not that much comfortable in the area or the subject in which the candidate is coming to be guided. Then in that case, the supervisor says that, okay, you may modify the topic or we will see that. So, and sometimes we are also taking help because as a supervisor, we find that theoretical conceptual knowledge is all right, but there are so many things which are required for the PhD job. So at that time, we will take help from some other faculty members, and the faculty members are generally generous. Generally, I say they are generally generous, but sometimes you will not find that they are so much generous to help you all the time. That is also a problem. Now, see, I have seen so many candidates whom I have guided or some other person they have guided, or in case of evaluation of PhD thesis also, I have seen so many candidates that they have done their PhD, their topic was also all right. But at the end of the day, they say that, okay, whatever I have done, the degree I could get, but what is the purpose? What is the, what this research is? How it is going to contribute? Who is going to use this? Is there any taker of this particular research, which I have conducted with so much of labor? And due to that, I have seen a very typical type of faculty, some faculty, not all, those who have not gone for the research. They have gone up to the stage that, okay, there are few months, few years are left when they are going to retire. Few of them I have asked that why have you not conducted research? It's a very common thing in case of academics. And 1 or 2% said that, okay, I don't find that these researches are of any use. There were the few faculty of engineering I met, they said that, okay, this is, so that's why I have not done so far. When I will think that, okay, it is relevant, and then only I will be doing that. So this question arises that the researches, whatever we are conducting in the university system or in any institute or academy, the type of research what we conduct and the type of research what are conducted in so many other fields, they are not similar. See, this term research, if you are going to see this, you will find so many areas where we are talking about this research. Say, for example, if you are seeing any news channel and he is going to give you data and he is going to give you some certain type of interpretation, they will be easily using that, okay, it is based on the research. Okay. So that organization or that channel, they have conducted research. We read newspapers also, and the newspaper, they are also giving you certain type of details about it. And they will say a center page article, sometimes the editorial page also. Sometimes the papers, along with that, the center page article you will find. And they will be saying that, okay, what information, what interpretation you are giving, they are research based. So that is also, we are finding different type of journals where we are getting this, the researches they are being published. And naturally, in case of academics, we are very much interested in getting our research published as a part of our requirement, because before submission of thesis, that has to be done. And okay, publication, it is going to give you benefit in future. That's why we are going for this publication. So these journals, they are also publishing it. So newspaper, news channel, journals, any other media, for example, if you may consider the radio, there is a discussion going on, they will be quoting the different type of statistics, and they will say that, okay, they are the research based. So we find that this term research, whenever we are talking about it, this research is going to give us idea that okay, what it is and how it is going to be of help. And that is going to be loosely used, and they are going to be. Now, being a teacher in business and management, see, there are different type of problems which the organizations they are facing, or there are different type of opportunities the organizations are getting due to changes in the economic condition, the rules and regulations, environment. Many changes they are taking place. Due to that, they will also have to adapt themselves according to those changes. Then this adoption of those changes or adapting by itself the organization, they are also going to take help of this research. Sometimes they are having their own people, they have got their own research section, and they are going to conduct that research. Or if it is not, then they will be taking help from the different type of research agencies. So most of the marketing research agencies are there, consultancy services are there, KPMG, Boston Consulting Group. There are many organizations which are conducting this research, and they are also specializing in different areas of research. We find in case of management, and they are going to tell you that okay, this is a situation and what you have to do, what your organization has to do. So they are going to tell us in that case. So we have to consider, we have to see the difference of these two types of research. We are in the field of academics, teaching, learning. This is our job. We have to develop people for the future. That is our main job. And along with that, creation of knowledge. That is also very important. Please now see, those younger colleagues who are listening, generally, when we see our teacher, when they have taught us in that class, and there are different type of people with whom we have interacted during our career as a student. Some teachers we could find that they were so nice and they presented the things in such a manner that most of the things you could remember, you could learn, you could understand. You could understand that. So please
नवनीत जी म्यूट कर लीजिए.
Please mute. Please mute. Okay. So most of we have seen so many things. Some teachers we have no matter what type of we have encountered with, they have been placed before us in such a manner that most of the things we could remember. Either their language or body language, or their complete personality. They have helped us. Please mute. Please mute those, because somewhere there is some problem. Okay, coming back. And at the same time, we have found those who have given us the content very nicely, and a full class of 50 minutes or 45 minutes that was completely packed with a different type of material. Communication taking place was not that good, so we used to criticize that some teachers, okay, it happens in case of teaching. We have already encountered such type of people. When we become teacher, we generally invite who are very much comfortable in dealing with the matter and communicate.
Navneet sir, I humbly request you to put off your microphone, please. Please, Navneet sir.
ऐड टू ऑर्डर कर दीजिए
Okay.
और कुछ करना तो आगे ऐड हो जाएगा ना।
पहले इसको ऐड कर दीजिए
नवनीत सर फोन अपना पैकेट में लगा रखी है।
और क्या लेना है? आओ
नवनीत सर
कहीं तो लगे
Yes.
इधर देखो।
Okay. Is it fine now? Okay. So as a teacher, when we join as a teacher, we always we have to be a very good teacher, a very good communicator. We have to keep our personality in such a manner that it is going to impress the students before us. And our complete focus on the knowledge what we have gained, we try to give.
कोल्ड ड्रिंक नहीं लोगे?
Most of the time in our early age of career, early stage of our career, we focus on the side of it.
कोक लोगी? कोको लेता है। हाँ,
नवनीत सर माइक ऑफ कर लीजिए। नवनीत सर
स्प्राइट अलग से दे, ओपन नहीं है।
स्लो सुन नहीं रहे।
नवनीत जी माइक ऑफ कर लीजिए। किसी के पास अगर नवनीत सर का नंबर हो तो प्लीज फोन करके बता दीजिए उनको। उनको शायद पता नहीं होगा।
Okay, now
नवनीत सर
I think he has put off the mic.
नवनीत जी संभवतः डीएवी पीजी कॉलेज आजमगढ़ से हैं, तो अगर किसी के पास उनका कोई कांटेक्ट नंबर तो कहें उनको फोन करें भाई। वो
Okay.
हो गया है सर, हो गया है।
ठीक है, okay, thank you very much. See, so what happens when we join as a teaching faculty, our main focus is that okay, we should present our material, whatever we have, before our students in such a manner that the students they should appreciate, they should understand, they should appreciate, they should imbibe. So our complete focus is on teaching only, and we consider that okay, as a teacher we have to teach, but at the university level and the college level also, whether it is the UG college or the PG college, it is not only the dissemination of knowledge is important and that will be done by us. It is the creation of knowledge, which is more important in case of the university system. Dissemination of knowledge, we consider that at the school level, it should be like that. But when we come to the college, so it is the creation of knowledge that should also get the place, and accordingly, we will have to develop ourselves. Creation of knowledge is one very important source is the research, because it is going to give new dimensions to the existing things. It is going to give you the new things out of the society, out of the economy, out of the industry. They are going to give you these different ideas. And those ideas, those researches, they will be quoted, they will be placed in the academic journal, because this is a journey of the information. It is a journey of knowledge. Whatever we have created, we are going to place before those who are contemporary of us, those who are the peer team, peer group, and they are going to read there, they are going to comment on that, they are going to provide their opinion, they will be criticizing it, they will be appreciating it. So many things they will be doing. And then after, someday, some textbook writer, when he is going to write their textbook, he will be reading those research papers, and he will be quoting whatever research that we have provided in those journals, and then it will be coming to the students. So the creation of knowledge, the very important source is the research, which we generally ignore as a faculty, as a teacher in the beginning of our career. We start to think about that when some research scholars, they are going to be before us, because they are coming with the contemporary knowledge, they are coming with the current knowledge, current ideas. So at that time we start thinking of, okay, this is a new thing which has been brought. So the creation of knowledge, which is taking second seat as a teacher, that should be considered at this stage, that we have to be the part of it. That's why this discussion is there. Otherwise, all of us are having PhD degree. You can say that, okay, what is the need for this? But for the purpose of creation of knowledge, the researches they will have to be undertaken. This is one part which I would like to emphasize. Generally, we ignore that. And we are going to say that, okay, whatever the textbooks are here, we are going to follow those textbooks because the textbooks are meant for that. So first of all, the teacher is going to read those textbooks, then the students are going to, and we are going to discuss most of the things in our classes in the framework of the textbooks because they have been prescribed. And we are also going to accept that it is going to give us direction and it is going to make us focus that, okay, these are the things which we have to discuss. As a social science teacher, points we are going to mention 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Most of them we are going to remember in the beginning. Now we are having this PPT, so this part is also has come down because the PPT is going to help us. So we are going to make use of that. Otherwise, it was that, okay, we used to read the book, we used to make the notes, we used to make the points, and then we used to deliver in the class. This used to be the system. And most of the time we have been engaged in that. So there was nothing left for the purpose of thinking about the research or new knowledge or the design or any other innovative thinking, creativity, second seed. But now we are finding that, okay, because we have to have this clear idea. Every teacher who is teaching in a college or university or any institute must have this clear idea that we are not only the part of dissemination of knowledge, we are the part of creation of knowledge. That is a very important thing because most of the new things which we are finding, they have come through this particular process. Either it was the PhD work which was done by some candidate and the supervisor, or it was a research project which we have taken from the different funding agencies, like India. In India, we are having UGC, which is funding, ICSR is funding, there are AICTE is funding, there are many other, in case of sciences, we are finding. So the funds are available for the purpose of conducting research, and that is going on. Very one thing which we have to keep in mind, and sometimes it appears in our mind that who is going to use this research, whatever I am going and I am giving to the students. If this type of thinking is coming, even if 1 or 2 teachers, and he is not conducting research, it is a harmful situation, I can say. Because as a part of creation of knowledge, researchers will have to be taken. Why this is coming in our mind? The reason we are going to search and we are going to understand that this is coming in our mind, that is correct, that is relevant. But we will have to wash it out. Then only it will be easy for us to step forward in conducting this research. See, the researchers, whatever the institutes, the universities, the academies, they are conducting, they are the basic researchers. They are the conceptual researchers. That's why in case of these basic researchers and conceptual researchers, the amount of rigor, the amount of labor, the amount of repetition is very high. That's why we are finding that one research that was conducted 5 years or 3 years before on the similar topic, you will be finding the other research is also coming from some other area, from some other industry, from some other social group, from some other country. On the similar type of topic, you will be finding it is coming. The type of statistics which have been used for the purpose of interpretation of the data, they may be also of similar nature. Same statistics they have also applied, and the result they are going to show. Why we are doing it one time this research has been conducted, why we are going to repeat that? And why we are going to put that much of rigor? Why we are going to modify a very small part of it? One person has applied one type of statistics. I am going to apply the other type of the statistics. And I am going to see the difference in that. If you are going to consider their results, maybe their statistics is different, but the results may be same. It is also possible that the statistics are different, the results are going to be different. Because the minute interpretation, whatever we are making, they are not same. So first thing is that we will have to consider that our research, whatever we are conducting in the institute or the university system, these research are the basic researches. They are the fundamental researches. And there are certain features related to that. Whereas those researches we are going to solve the business related problem, they are the other type of research. And that's why we are calling them the business research, or the other term, because it is related with business, that's why we are using very frequently like business research, or it is called applied research. In case of, there are many sciences where you will find that the researches are highly applied research. Take for example, in case of medicine, they are mostly the applied type of researches. So one result they are getting, so they may be repeating 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, but after that they will say that, okay, this is the medicine which will be used up to this extent, up to in this type of patient, in this type of country, depending upon the tropical condition, so many things related to it. But here in this case, this is the applied research. Same thing you are going to do, you will be getting the same thing. So in case of this is the difference we will have to consider. There is the basic research, which we call academic research, because we are the part of academic institution, that's why we are calling it the academic research also. So it is the basic research, it is the fundamental research, it is the core research, and the other researches, they are the applied research. Our research is the basic, the academic research is the basic research. It is the core research, it is the fundamental research. That's why we are going to put more amount of rigor. And in case of this rigor, the basic idea is that whatever researches we are conducting, in that case, we have to read so many things which have already been done. We'll have to see what type of data collection methods they have applied, what type of group they have considered for the purpose of collecting data, what type of sampling they have made, what type of statistics they have applied, what type of result they could get, how they have interpreted those results, and whether these results are conforming with the objectives, whatever we have set in that case. So in case of our academic research, generally we have conducted research, so we are fixing that, okay, this is our objective. And according to those objectives, we are going forward. In case of our applied research, our main focus is on the different type of problems or opportunities, as in case of business. So it is on the basis of that, the problem, whatever is there. These problems we are going to translate into different type of objectives, and then we are, all the time we are focusing there on also on objective. But the main focus is what problems are there and how they can be solved. In case of our research, solution may or may not be. We may be giving solution, we may not be giving solution. We can stop our research by identification of the different phenomena which is going on there. How that can be solved, we will leave for the other researchers to conduct it. But in case of this business research or applied research, when the problem is there, we have to give the solution. Problem will be identified, solution will have to be given. So here in case of this rigor, now you will say that why you are putting so much of rigor in this when you are not going to give the solution? Because the solution will come. And in this part, the rigor will be so high that when we are reaching up to that stage, the solution will become difficult for us to continue. So, because at one stage, we have to stop our research as a part of academics. So, solutions may not be, or whatever result we are getting, that will have to be reported in that manner, which will be used by the other people. And from there, he is going to a step forward. So, there is a gap between the two. What I want to say in a nutshell is that, first of all, we will have to understand that our research is academic research. Our research is not an applied research. Now the question is that, then what is the purpose? Why are you conducting this? Just for the sake of PhD or getting publication? But then it is irrelevant. No, it is not. When these researches are coming in the different type of journals, they have been published, or we have participated in the seminar, conference, and we have the people, they have criticized that, they have appreciated that. Then after it will be going through the process of our textbook to the students and the general people, those who are related with that, they will learn about it, and they will also think that, okay, what is the new things which have come, what new concepts they have been developed, what are the new things, on which we have to think. So these research, we cannot say that they are useless. No, it is not useless. They are useful, but our scope is limited. And where we have to focus, that should also be very much clear. So at the end of our research, the conceptual idea, conceptualization of certain things, they should appear. Problem solution, different. That's why what we say, it is the question which has been placed, is academic research different from business or the problem solving research? We say yes. It is why yes, and what is the reason behind that? It is a question of rigor versus relevance. The problem solving research, whatever the problem, we have to give solution. So the relevant solution we are going to search in that case. But here we are going to see the amount of rigor. I am going to deviate for a few minutes at this stage as far as this rigor is concerned. Whenever any PhD thesis is put before the evaluator, what he is going to check in that case? First of all, he is going to see the introductory part, that introduction. Okay, so this is the concept, this is the theoretical side of it. And he is the researcher has given that, okay, this is the industry which I have selected, this is the area, this is the subject area I have selected. And from there, it gives idea that, okay, this is the research on this particular topic. Next is what? Next, generally you will find that it is the literature review. What is this? Whatever studies have already been conducted in past, they will have to be reviewed. They are not simply to be reported. There is a difference. They will have to be reviewed. That means they have already come into the picture. They have been placed in the journals and news, in the different academic journals. We are going to check that. We are going to reread that. We are going to reevaluate that. We are going to re-relate that with the other knowledge, whatever we are finding in that case. Where from we start generally? We start from that particular article, that particular paper, which we say in the academic terminology that is a seminal paper. The starting point, the benchmark from where we have started it. So we are going to start from there. Okay, we are going to refer that this particular author, this researcher, he has used that. Thereafter, we are going to study the other researchers, all the researchers. Due to this digitalization and availability of these journals and the papers on net, generally we prescribe to our students that we are not going to allow this literature review to be over unless you are going to quote 250 research papers, relevant research papers, extent literature review. Generally, we prescribe that, okay, 250. Sometimes the student, they are, once we say that, okay, 250, then we say, sir, it is too much. So 250 is not a small number, sir. How it should be? We say that, okay, try, you will get it. So depending upon the type of research, but in this business, availability of research material and all that on net and the different libraries which are available in our country, very rich libraries which we have. So that is the rigor part. That is the rigor part. We have studied that. We are going to classify them. The literature review is very important as a part of our research. That is also a type of research. Literature review, we consider that, okay, whatever the people have done, we are going to read that, we are going to review that, we are going to write it. No, this is also a research. That's why you will find nowadays there are different publications which are writing at the end review-based paper. Is why they are writing? Because it is based on this the paper, whatever the researcher has written, it is based on the past review, the past publications. So that is a review-based paper. This is also important paper. Why? Because most of the things we have found, and we have already done that earlier, and on the basis of that, just 1 minute, I should. Okay. And on the basis of that, the other researchers, they are going to read that and they will be finding that, okay, this work has been done in this particular manner. These are the different references. So he will also be searching those references from the past, and then after he is going to proceed further. So this is the second, in case of evaluation, which I am talking about. This is the rigor which we have put. Researches, they have already been conducted. We are going to read that, we are going to review that. And based on that, what is our objective? Our objective is that we have to identify the gap, whatever have not been researched. We are going to identify that. Based on that, the other process they are going to start. So the rigor part is more important. Rigor is the basic in case of our academic research. That's why we are going for that. In case of business research, we are hardly some person is going to read that, okay, what type of a study has been made earlier. If suppose one is going to research on any type of problem related with business, he will be seeing the newspaper, business newspaper, some reports coming, some government rules changes, some economic development or the reduction, whatever is the condition. And based on that, he is going to identify the different problems related to the business, and he is going to conduct research, collect data, and analyze that on the basis of the different type of statistics. And then he will be giving you the solution that, okay, this can be done, or this should be changed, this should be done like that. But in our case, it is not so fast. So that's why now see here, academic research, more rigor than relevance. Business research, more problem solving than the relevance part, which we consider. So we have to keep this in mind. That's why our research is going to take minimum, as the government says now, after this 2017 and 19, that minimum period for submission of PhD thesis is 3 years. Earlier it was 2 years, but now they have modified to 3 years, the minimum period. If in case of business, you are going to wait for 3 years, even 3 months, you will be losing the market. So it is the business research, it is more related with the problem solving, it will be fast. But here in case of, now see the academic research versus business research, in a nutshell, I have tried to write that, and then after I will discuss certain part of it. Academic research on what we are conducting our research. Some of them, they have been mentioned here. We are going to research on the different type of concepts, whatever are in use. That's why you will find that these concepts, they have been modified over a period of time. After conducting 1 research, 2 research, 3 researches, you will find that, okay, some 1 word or 2 words in the definition that has been added. 1 word or 2 words in the definition. The existing definition that was coming, and the 1 word or 2 words, they have been added. So the concept changes, and these concepts, as we know, in case of this, the conceptual changes, they are taking place. Our focus is on the different type of theories. Okay, so whatever theory we have propounded earlier, they have been propounded earlier, we are going to see that, okay, how far it is relevant now, whether there is any change in that, should this be changed, or this theory is really applicable now or not. We are going to consider this. So in case of our academic research, our focus is on these different aspects. The other one is the construct. Now see here, it is based on the constructs are very much important in case of our business research. Whenever we are going to mainly in case of our PhD in business administration, the constructs are very much important. For example, for simplicity, we say that, okay, in case of marketing, the product, whatever you are supplying to the customer, after using that product, the customer should be satisfied. If he is a satisfied customer, he will be purchasing that. So the repurchase will be possible, and with the help of this repurchase of the material, whatever you are supplying, your business is going to grow. So so customer satisfaction is a construct. Why he is satisfied? We are going to define, we are going to differentiate, we are going to segregate, basically. We are going to segregate that. So the customer satisfaction, his satisfaction is with the core product, for example. Sometimes the core product all right, but he is satisfied with the after sales service. This is another important part of customer satisfaction. If the product is not requiring any after sales service, it is the behavior and attitude of the distributive network, for example, the retailer or the shopper, wherever from he has purchased it. Or there is a scheme for the return of the product if you are not satisfied with that. So the customer satisfaction is a construct. And what are the different aspects of those constructs we have to identify, and based on that we are going to conduct our research. So in case of this academic research, any construct you are going to consider, for example, in case of human resource, it is the employee satisfaction, it is the employee work and life balancing. They are the construct. Work-life balance is a construct. Motivation is a construct. We are considering in this particular matter because we have to keep the employees motivated. They have to be motivated. So we are going to study that. If you are in the field of education, so the students' motivation, that is a construct. So we will be having the different type. They are motivated with the help of the content, the way the teacher has presented it, the type of book which they have been supplied. So many things related with that. So our academic research, we are focusing on the different concepts, different theories, different constructs, different principles, models, different type of models we are having. In case of model, what is it? We are going to identify the different models where the variables are going to be considered. Some variables are independent variables, some are the dependent variables. If you are changing one, what is this effect on the other one? So we are going to form the different models and we are going to check that. So different type of models. Generally, in case of psychology, we are going to have this modeling part. We develop the different models. Okay. In between, there are so many factors which are working. For example, the age is one factor on the individual psychology if you are going to study. So the age will be one factor. Income will be the another factor. The treatment of the parent on the child, that will be the other factor. Many things. So in case of model, we are developing that. What we do with this, the concept, theory, construct, principles, models. We are either going to conform or we are going to contradict. Very simple thing which has been placed here. Either we are going to conform whatever have been studied, they are going to continue, they are still relevant, there is no need for any modification, they are going to be the same. Or we are going to contradict that this theory is not so applicable now. This construct, it needs more variables in it. We are going to contradict any theory, any model, any principle which we have developed earlier. Now you can see very easily as a teacher we understand this. To conform or to contradict any concept, theory, construct, principles, models, or whatever we are considering in this. These are few examples on how much amount of labor, how much amount of study, how much amount of reviews we will have to make. Once we are going to think in that particular term, our understanding about our research, that is very much, that makes us stand on sound footing, that okay, whatever we are doing or whatever we have to do for this, it will require amount of rigor, amount of labor, amount of understanding that will be much more as compared to any other type of research which we are going to apply. So conforming or contradicting. That's why what we are finding for the last 25 years or so, we are finding that whenever we are writing the result in our last chapter of the thesis, and we are giving our own result, we are also referring from our literature review that okay, this is in conformity with the researches conducted by this, or it is contradicting the research which has been conducted earlier by these researchers. So our main purpose in case of academic research, our main focus is on these ideas, and you will always find, even in reading our textbooks, you will always find that the references of the earlier, the references of the different type of writers, their researches, they are being made. It is because these concepts of these theories of these models, these principles, they have been developed over a period of time, and they are the researchers. They are continuously going on. That's why we are finding. I am referring here one book. Those who are coming from economics, commerce, and management. There is one writer in case of marketing management. He is very popular writer of marketing management, and in so many languages, his book has been translated. His name is Philip Kotler. So the first edition he has written with this marketing management. In the third edition, or by third edition, which came in 1976 or so, he wrote the title of his book, Marketing Management, and within bracket, Analysis, Planning, and Control. So we used to call it Marketing Management, APC, Analysis, Planning, and Control. In 6th and 7th edition, he has started to write Analysis, Planning, Implementation, and Control. So one word he has added in the terms of implementation. And this implementation part, it has changed the way the book has been written. So many things he has changed in the book, where the implementation part that was written in a separate type of paragraph, he has not identified, he has not written implementation. But the paragraphs were written where the implementation part that was emphasized. Why I want to say is, he is a writer, his book has gone up to 16th edition by now. It's a very popular book internationally, as a textbook of marketing. Now he is simply writing, okay, marketing management or principles of marketing management, so another. But the marketing management, the basic book, which he has written. Now see this word implementation itself, which is the within bracket, the caption. After so much of thinking, after so much of understanding how the changes they should be brought and what should be done in this particular situation, that is the implementation part. But earlier it was only APC, Analysis, Planning, and Control. So no doubt, once you have planned it, you are going to use it, and then after controlling part will be coming next to that. But he has emphasized that, okay, it is the implementation. So how are you going to, and many researchers in that case, he has quoted in this case. What I want to say is that we have to focus on this aspect. Very important thing is that our research is based on this, our research is mainly meant for this conceptual understanding, the development is concept, the construct principles. Either you are going to confirm that okay, it is all right, whatever we are accepting this is fine, or you are going to contradict it. But in case of the business research or the applied research, search the problem, give the solution to solve it, finished. So here we are not going to apply the concept or theories or okay, they are there, but we are not going to modify that. We are not going to confirm or contradict. Problem is there, okay, solve it. Academic, that's why I see the nature of academic research. It is long term. It has got long term implications. So anything, any change which you are going to say in this case, that will continue for a longer period of time. It is not that okay, within 6 months or within 1 year or 2 years, if it is implied it will work, and after that it is not going to work. No, academic research, it has got long-term implications. That's why we are finding that this the researches which have taken place in 60s, even before that, still we are quoting them. Why? Because they have got long-term implications. What was the basic, where from they have started? What was the idea behind that? What things were included in that? We are going to. So any research which we conduct in case of this, because the theory or construct of the principles, they are not going to be modified so frequently. They are having some amount of perpetuity which we consider. Businesses is a short-term application. So within short period of time, if you have applied, okay, you will be successful. You are going to get the result. If you are not applying, you will suffer. So the business is there. Now see the next point, that is our research is a time-consuming research. It cannot be done within 2 months or 3 months' time. It is a continuous process. We have faced that, we have seen that, and sometimes we were not happy with our supervisor also, that okay, 3 years have passed, 4 years have passed. He has not checked my chapter. I have given this. He is not clearing my questionnaire. He is not allowing me to go to this and to do this. Most of the time, we have faced that. And okay, our researchers also, as a supervisor, I can say that okay, sometimes we could find that okay, the complaints, the face-to-face, they have said that too much of time has gone, sir, and I have not completed it. It is a time-consuming research. It requires patience. It requires too much of reading. It requires too much of thinking. We are teachers. Earlier, there are different terms which we have used for the teachers and such type of people. We used to say that okay, they are the intellectual class. They are the academicians. Such type of high-sounding terminologies they have been used for us as a faculty, as a teacher. We are the part of that. Basically, as an individual, okay, what we are using now for along with the other these technocrats also, they are the brain-powered worker. They are the brain-powered worker. They have got this brain power and they are using it and they are working on that. It is a time-consuming process. You will have to think on that. Without thinking, it is not possible. You have to sit on that for many days. You will face trouble sometimes in your mind. Okay, what is this? You are not agreeing to whatever are there. Sometimes you are going to agree and you are so overjoyed with that you are not going to think anything other than that. Sometimes you are finding such type of things when you are studying that, which you are thinking and you have got some support. You will find that, okay, you are overjoyed with that, and for a few days you are not going to do anything. It happens in case of academic research. It is a time consuming. You will have to study that. You will have to enjoy that. Sometimes you will face, okay, you are not agreeing, but you will have to accept it sometimes. But our academic research, the business research, within time, if you have not done it, finished. You will not be getting the result. So now see the another very important part, which is going to give us the basic idea what this research is. Academic research is statistical tools of higher level. Somebody has used correlation with the two type of variables. I am going to apply 3 variables and I am going to use regression analysis in this case. So statistical tools of higher level we are using. So whatever statistics they have been used earlier, so few researchers, okay, this type of research, this type of statistics have been used. Now I am going to apply it. So some higher level statistics that should be used. So they're very important in case of our academic researchers. The statistical tools are important. Where we are going to collect the primary data, their statistics is very important part. Which type of statistics you are going to apply, under which condition, which type of tool will be applicable, under which condition, which type of tool will not be applicable. We will have to have understanding about that. Now, if you are the part of social science research, or you are the part of the arts, in case of literature and all, here what we are doing, we are going to the basic sources. If you have to do research on Premchand, then only studies which have been conducted on Premchand, that is not going to help you. You will have to read Godam, you will have to read the different stories of Premchand. If you are working on the Premchand and his relationship with the villages and the village, the problems, then you will have to read the Panchayat. Okay, what is there in that case? So the different type of stories, different novels which he has written, you will have to go to the original sources. Those who are conducting research in case of history, they are going to the archive. What is the purpose? Because they are getting the original source. And from there, they are going to quote. It is not that, okay, some other person has quoted that original source, that is going to work. Supervisor is not going to agree with that. So in that case, you will have to go for that. The whatever book, whatever literature, on which you are going to conduct your research, original sources, they will have to be studied. If you are not getting in your library, you are going to search in the other library. Now we are having different, okay, digitalization, but everything has not been digitalized by now. So many documents, they are available. We are having, for example, those who are conducting research in case of parliamentary system, political system, party system, and the debates related with a particular topic. They are going to the parliament library, they are taking help from there. We are having the other libraries where these documents are also available. For example, IITA is one library in Delhi, where we are having the different type of documents related with the parliament debate for the different type of companies, because there is a public administration library. So we used to go for that to that particular institution, and the library, where is this library? Hard copies, because now we are talking in terms of soft copy, hard copy. Earlier there was only their copy, which we used to conduct, and we used to consult. We are having different type of associations in case of our business. Fertilizer Association, for example, where the data they were available, secondary data we used to collect from there. What I want to say here is that in case of academic research, the statistical tools of higher level, that is important. Some studies they have been conducted with the help of this particular type of tool. We are going to consider some other studies we are going to conduct. So we will be considering in another manner. So that part we are going to take up. And in this case, the application of packages for analysis, different type of packages we are getting now. For example, now we are having this the statistical packages, SPSS for example, very common package which we are using. This SPSS, now the different versions are there. Along with that, we are having MOS, which is going to help us. We are having another type of packages where the free sources are there. So they are using that R is there. Then on the basis of that, so many other packages are also available, free packages. So academic researchers, depending upon the type of research, we are going to apply the higher level tools and techniques for the purpose of analysis. But in case of our applied research, it is more mathematical than statistical, for example, in case of business. So if you are going to calculate percentage, that will work in case of your business. 35% of the people in this particular area, they are using Lux as a soap. It will work in the business. The 35% of the population is using this. The remaining are using the other type of soap. That will work. On the basis of that, you can decide what to do. But in case of academic research, if you are going to calculate that percentage, they will say, what is this? It is nothing. This percentage is not going to help us. We will have to go for the other analysis. Why they are using it? Okay, what are the things which they are finding in Lux, which they are not finding in the other type of brands? We are going for that. Academic results, so this is the last point, I think. Academic research, results are open to publication, scrutiny, and evaluation by the experts. It's a very important point. Whatever research we are conducting, they will be going for publication. That means we are going to make this open for any person who is interested in reading that. Anyone can read it, anyone can recite it, anyone can try to understand it. There is no problem. It is meant for that. We are going for publication. What will happen? They are going to scrutinize it. They are going to evaluate it. Who are the people who will be interested in that? They are the experts in their own field. They are going to check that. So whenever we are going to make it as a part of publication, we will have to place that. Our understanding is clear that we are going to make it for the publication part. So it should be in a particular format. It should be as per the requirements of that particular journal, that particular paper. So it will be according to that. So every journal has got its own way. In terms of referencing, they are different. In terms of writing also, they are different. In terms of analysis, in terms of the presentation, in terms of languages also, they are different. So here, whenever we are conducting any research, our idea is that it is going to be published one day, and it will be scrutinized by the expert. They will be evaluated by the experts. And as a part of this research, when we are going for this PhD thesis, till it is not evaluated, we are going to consider it as a confidential document. But once it has been evaluated, you have got the degree, it is going to be placed on InfluxNet. So what for? We are going, because it is open for the world. They can check it. Before this digitalization, we used to place our thesis in ICSSR library. So hundreds of theses they were placed in ICSSR library, where the university, and they used to pay very nominal amount for this printing and binding, so that the people they used to place it there, so that the people, the other researchers, they are going to read that. In case of business, it is not the case. It is in case of applied research, result is secretive. We are not going to disclose whatever the result. Why? Because we will have to formulate our own strategies. Accordingly, it is going to compete in the market. So we are very much secretive in case of our research, which we are considering as an applied part of it. So first thing which we have to keep in mind, because why I am stressing it, the basic purpose of this stress is that there should not be any confusion in it. That okay, whatever research I have done, who is going to use it? I have done so much of labor, 5 years I have devoted to that. Few people, they are going to have this journal. Who is going to read this Harvard Business Review or Journal of Marketing? or general personal selling and sales management. Well, how many people are going to read? Are the executives getting time to read that? For whom we have written here, or the researches they are going on, the executives or the business? Sometimes it comes in our mind. Whatever researches we have conducted in academics, published, all right, got the degree, okay, got the recognition, got a point for our academic achievement, all right, fine. But sometimes it comes in our mind. What is the purpose of this research? Why we are doing this much of labor? The purpose is that we have to understand very clearly. We are meant for the modification in case of the models, principles, theories, concepts. These are the ideas where we have to work. Very small part of that we will be conducting as a part of our research. Very small part of that, because we cannot go for each and every aspect of it. So very small part of that we have researched. And that is going to be reported. It is going to be published. So the people, they are going to make use of it. Someday this will be quoted. And the other researchers who are going to continue on this particular continuum, they are going to make use of whatever research we have conducted. So this, if anyone who is having some type of confusion about this application of this research, where we have to conduct research, what are the things we are going to consider, this should go from our mind. This should not be there in our mind. We have to be very much clear in our understanding and what this research is and why we are going to conduct this. This is one. Second thing is that because this is the early part of our as a participant, this early stage of our career, we have to think over this. That okay, teaching is one. That is our predominant job. Fine. But the creation of knowledge at the university level or the college level, that is another important responsibility, which we have to share, which we have to shoulder. That is going to help the institutions, that is going to help the academics, that is going to help the fraternity, that is going to increase the knowledge base of the country. So this is very much important as a part of our job. Teaching, all right, one should be a very good teacher. He should communicate very nicely. He should make the things very simple, easy to understand. He should connect with the student. All these things are all right. He should be very much motivated. He should show his complete energy, whatever he is having at his disposal when he is going to discuss this in the class. And each and every student, even the last person of the class, he should be able to understand whatever you are going to teach. That is our teaching part. It's all right. We have to strive for that. But we should not at any stage ignore the importance of conducting research, importance of academic research, importance of modification in the different type of concepts, ideas, and all that. So that's why whenever we discuss with such type of audience, I generally try that I should discuss in detail what is the difference and why we have to focus on this and how it is going to help. Because this is knowledge is a continuous process. It is not the end of it. Tomorrow, some more things they will be added. Something will be deleted also. It is a continuous process, and we have to be the part of that continuous process. As a researcher, we will have to bring the project. If you are going to bring project for your college or for your institution, it is going to help you in many ways. Your publication is going to increase, your understanding of that particular area that is going to be improved, and the university ranking and all those, because now we are trying for that every day, NAT ranking, NIRF ranking, and so many rankings. So, and they are asking that, okay, how much is the product, the project, what type of projects are being run by your department, by your university, how much financing, they are asking for the money also, what type of researches they have been published, all these things are there, and we are the part of it. We are the lucky people, few lucky people, that those who are going to disseminate knowledge, and we are the part of creation of knowledge also. Very few people. We are the part of that brain-powered worker. The God has given this opportunity to us. We have to create knowledge, and it will be coming with the help of the research, whatever we have considered by now. Now I am going to discuss with you. There are certain things which, see, there is a crisis now. See, this is one quote which I have placed it here. There is a crisis in organizational science research. Our research techniques have become more sophisticated, but they have become increasingly less useful for solving the practical problems. That is the part, that is the reality which we are finding. And it is true. But the problem here is that in case of business, when the relationship with the industry you are going to establish, this problem will be solved. Sophistication in research that has come with the help of the application of different type of statistical tools and techniques. This we have brought. But sometimes we are not going to relate, or sometimes just these projects they are not being brought with the help of the industry, what the industry wants, and what the position of the industry at a particular time. We have not taken them in the group, or the industry has not financed this research. Because when the industry is going to finance this research, then in that case your nature is going to be different. Industry financing the research, that means the problem will be more, and they will be asking as an education institution, as a university, that okay, this is the research which is the industry is going to finance, but along with that, there are different changes they are going to be brought in it. Here at this stage, I would like to discuss with you one research which was conducted almost 100 years before, 1924 to 1932. Those who are coming from psychology and business management and commerce background, they will be having this idea. This was Elton Mayo, Professor Elton Mayo of Harvard Business School. He conducted the research that is called Hawthorne experiment. Hawthorne is a factory where he has conducted this experiment. So this Hawthorne experiment, the financing was made by the company, and he was a professor at Harvard Business School. So complete research which was conducted there, he has conducted this research in a setting where it was considered that if the physical condition you are going to increase, the productivity of the employee, that is going to increase also. And in case of physical condition, he said that the light is going to be improved, productivity will increase, the color of the wall is going to be changed, it is going to be soothing, it is going to increase. So many factors he considered, that cleanliness you are going to bring, so it is going to increase the productivity. Hawthorne experiment, one part of the experiment. He has taken now, see, this was financed by the company, the electric company. Okay, it was in the Chicago plant. He has conducted it. It was a completely scientifically designed research, which we give as an example. As an introductory example, also we give this, the Hawthorne experiment. As a part of research design, also we discuss this. That's what he has done in that case. So I would like to discuss within few minutes. He has conducted this research on the basis of the experimental design, or which we call the design as a part of exploratory research, or it is a descriptive research, or it is the experimental research. So it was the experimental research. He has grouped the people in two groups. One group was called the control group, another was called the experimental group. And he has placed in two different rooms, and in one room he has not changed anything. Whatever the room was where the person was doing the job, they were doing the job, there was no change. Other room where he placed the other participants, he modified the light, sometimes increase the light, decrease the light, and then after he checked that, okay, what is the per unit production by the people. So in the two groups, he divided. One group will be called where the changes were not made, that is called control group. And where the changes were made, that is called experimental group. So after making this, he has collected data, and he could find that in both the groups, the productivity has increased. It was expected that the productivity will increase only in that group where the modification in light that is going to take place. where the light has not changed, any other physical condition has not changed, the productivity should not increase. But he came to surprise when he got the result that the productivity of both the groups, they have increased. It means that the change in the physical condition is not going to affect. So the effect of change in physical condition, that was not there. When the group, both the groups are showing increased productivity, it means that in one group where we have changed the lighting system, they would have increased, okay, all right, accepted. But where we have not changed, they should not increase. So the second phase of this, the same factory, he started, he said that, okay, now the objective, whatever he was having, that could not be satisfied. The hypothesis, whatever he has developed, they could not be considered. So he went for the second phase of the same factory. And he started to collect data from the individual working in that particular the group, the experimental group and the control group. So individually, he started to conduct this standardized questionnaire developed and collect the data. And he was surprised that the people there, the answer which was coming, the people said that during this research period, whether life was increased or it was not increased, the relationship of the supervisor and the candidate, those people who were working, that was very much cordial. So it was not the light, it was something else. The other result was that the people, those who were in the control group, they said that we thought that we are the part of some very important research. Due to that, we have started our production or the productivity that has increased. So the relationship from here, the complete change in management thinking that has taken place. Now see the type of research. He was an academician. It was financed by the company. He has conducted that in a particular factory and he could get it. This research and thinking. From here, we have started the thing in terms of behavioral approach to management. Earlier, it was the scientific management or the classical approach to management. But from here, the behavioral approach to management, motivation, why the people are motivated to work. So the supervisor and the relationship of the subordinate and the superordinate, that has, so from complete change in the management thinking, that has started from there. Now we find that in such type of situation, when we are conducting that type of research, where this industry that has been brought together, that the academics, the type of research which are the result whatever we could get, that was completely different as compared to the researchers whatever we are conducting. So here in this case, the crisis in organizational science research, our research techniques have become more sophisticated, but they have become increasingly less useful for solving the practical problem. It is because after that, it is said that okay, if you are going to take help, or if the industry is going to be brought into this group, then the relevance part of this research that is going to increase. So this is very important. There is a wide gap between organization research, managerial practices. The origin of this gap is in the assumption of academic and the practitioners. They have fundamentally different frame of references. So this is a difference. By now we are able to understand that. So this is here. So the difference exists with reference to the goals they seek to influence, the social system in which they operate, the variables they attempt to manipulate, and acceptable time frames to address these problems. So this part we have already considered. The researcher and practitioners, now see, this is very important. The researchers and the practitioners belong to separate communities with very different values and ideologies, and these differences impede utilization. Because the practitioners, they are show me the problem, I am giving you the solution. But the academicians, they are not in that particular framework. Practitioners will always be thinking in terms of that, okay, what is the solution of this problem? Tell me that. I am not interested what is your theory. So the practitioners and this, their thinking is different. So due to that. Now, this is also very important, and that's why I have brought it here. What we do in case of conferences is this I have quoted from one of the journal, Academy of Management They have quoted this. That's what we do in conference. Each conference we come to talk with each other. During the rest of the year, we read each other's paper in our journal and write our own paper, so that in turn we may have audience following next conference. So with the help of these conferences, we are meeting people, we are talking about the paper, and we are writing next paper, so that we will be having the audience to read that, to discuss that. So in conferences also. These are the conferences. Why we consider? Because in case of conference, we are having this opportunity to whatever researches we have conducted, we are going to share with the people. They are the experts in the field, we are going to share with them, they are going to criticize, they are going to evaluate, they are going to support this idea, or they will be contradicting whatever you are going to say. So in case of conferences, so this is also the publication part or the publicity part of this. I am leaving this part. No. Okay. Now see about this publication situation. This is important because this is the beginning of our career, and we have to understand why the publications they are generally, sometimes not generally, sometimes they are being rejected, and what is the reason behind that? That part is here. This is one research that was conducted on the publication situation. Position of academic research. 49 manuscripts were submitted. Out of this 49, 24 were returned without review. And this is a very old research. It's not the contemporary, because I could not find such type of research after that. So sorry to say that, okay, this is the old research which I am quoting here. 49 manuscripts were submitted for one journal. 24 were returned without review. That means what we call it is a desk reject. So the editor himself has checked and said that, okay, send it back. 16 were rejected on the first review. So after that, they were sent to the reviewer, because they are the peer-reviewed publications. It is not that, okay, whatever you have said, the publication is going to take place. We know about this is the process. 16 were rejected by the on the first review. They said that, okay, it is not going to be published. 5 were rejected after review and resubmission. So the review was there. After the review, they said that, okay, you have to make this, and that was submitted. After that, 5 were rejected. 4 were accepted for the submission. So only out of 49, only 4. You can understand the nature of publication, whatever we are finding. 24 returned because they did not contain any data as required by the journal. Why I am stressing this part, why I have mentioned it. Sometimes we are not seeing what is the requirement of a journal. Journals are very much particular, and they are giving you idea that what type of publication we are accepting, what type of publications we are having, and what is the format of that. What type of data they should be generated, and then what type of the type of statistics and all that. Contemporarily, they will be writing one word, and that is going to. The return were because they did not contain any data as required by the journal. So if the journal is asking for the primary data, generally they are going to publish on the basis of that. And you have not given that, okay, they are not going to. Or if the journal is basically stressing on the pattern of writing paper, objective should be there, hypothesis should be there. Based on those hypotheses, questionnaire that should also be placed. The data should be collected. The methodology of collection data or sampling, that should be probability sampling, or this method of sampling that should be applied. Many things are there in this here. So this is the Academy of Management journal. From there I have collected this. Most common reason for rejection, that was here. 77% they were having validity problem, construct validity. So 77% of this the submission, they were at this problem. Mismatch between theory and the method. 46% they have identified that there was a mismatch between the theory, whatever you are going to check and all that, and the methods, whatever you have applied for that. Weak or non-existent theory. There is no theory, there is no concept, there is no idea, there is no construct of such type, there is no principle which you are going to check. Less than 20% of studies involve practitioners in their initial design. So this was also the reason that you have not involved the practitioners. And sometimes we say that, okay, if the practitioners are being involved, their ideas will be something different. So their ideas, if you are going to incorporate the things, they are going to change. In case of our research, in the primary research, when we design the questionnaire and all, we are asking the students that you will have to go for the pilot study. Why we are asking? Because we are in that pilot study, what we say, okay, you will have to collect data from the market, all right. But 20 people you are collecting from the market, finished, and collect from 5 persons from the academics. That means the faculty here or faculty somewhere else, and collect data from them. Then I have to collect data from the industry itself, or sometimes the other constituents who are related to it. So the pilot study. Yes, please. On the other,
और पास कलेक्शन आंसर्स হ্যাঁ রিসিভ করি আচ্ছা এবার ডেট থেকে নিয়ে করুন পড়া 4 তারিখ সেট করে দিন এই সেট লেখা হয়ে গেল বাকিগুলো সব ফিল আপ করে দিয়েছেন তো হ্যাঁ সাবমিট করে দিন আরে হয়ে গেছে হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হয়ে গেছে এবার এটা ভাবুন মেল একদম চলে আসছে এত তাড়াতাড়ি আসবেনি চলে আসবে দেখুন
सर माइक ऑफ कर लीजिए
सुनील जी प्लीज पुट योर माइक म्यूट
ढुके गए सामने ना এটা তো এমনি
सर वहां से म्यूट करवा दीजिए
सुनील जी अपना माइक म्यूट कर दीजिए
वहीं से करा दो
प्लीज माइक म्यूट करिए
सुनील जी प्लीज माइक ऑफ करिए
नेट ऑन करो
सर आप वहीं से लगा दीजिए सर
कैमरा अच्छे देखो क्या नहीं है हां पॉज से करवा दीजिए
hello. Okay.
हां हां
Okay. See here. Please. Now it is
नेट ऑन অনলাইনে ক্লাস চলছে আমার নেট অন করি এতে ওই জন্য হচ্ছে না এবার গুগলে যান
सुनील सर
গুগলে যান ওই তো
सुनील सर माइक ऑफ
এই তো
कीजिए
ক্যামেরাটা ওই ক্যামেরা করতে করতে কিছু দেখ
वो सुन ही नहीं रहे
सुनील सर माइक ऑफ कर लो सुनील सर चले गए
सुनील सर माइक
प्लीज अपना
ऑफ कर लीजिए
एक्चुअली सुनील सर वो अगर सुन रहे होते तो ऑफ कर लेते तो मुझे लगता है सर को ही ऑफ करना पड़ेगा
Hello. Yes. Now I am coming to the next part of this, because I have left very less time for, because we have already conducted this research and the process, accompanying research process. This process, some books, if you are going to see that, you will find that they have given 22 steps, and some books they have given only 6 steps. Within that, this is a research process they have discussed. Here I have taken one from this. There is one book of business research by Bush and Burns. That is from Pearson company. Earlier it was from PHI. So I have taken these steps from there. It's a very nice book, and I have used it. Malhotra is another book on research methodology. He has given it in 6 steps. And there is another book of Schindler and Cooper. they have given in 9 steps or something like that. So the 12 steps of academic, that's why this academic research I am considering. Otherwise, as the business research, we say that okay, 11 steps are sufficient. But in academic research, there is one step which is very much important, and I have already discussed that. So I will not be going into the detail. And if I would have got time, then I would have discussed that part in greater detail as required by the researchers. But these 12 steps are like this. Here, first of all, okay, identification of the research topic, the first one. So the source is very important. Where from this research topic that should be brought? Now, very important source which we generally ignore. That is your published or unpublished thesis. The thesis which has been submitted in the department, at the end of the thesis, we are writing few bullet points, or sometimes we are writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 also. Directions for future research. These directions, they have been given by the researcher who has conducted this research for conducting future research. What he has not done, what he could not do, on the basis of the limitations of research, he has written that. So very important source for the identification of the research topic is the thesis, which has been either published in the book form or if it is in unpublished form. So one should read that particular part. The topic you have studied, you have considered about the thesis. You knew that, okay, it is from my area in which I want to study. Go to that last part and see what he has mentioned about it. This will be giving you the topic. So from there, you can have the idea that, okay, this research has already been conducted. I will be considering these points, and based on that, I am going to develop my own topic. So very important thing is the published or unpublished thesis, which should be considered as a source. Then the research papers published in the journals. That is another important source, because the publication that is taking place, it is a continuous process. So many journals are there. We generally recommend that go to that journal, which is the very basic journal in that particular field. For example, if you have to conduct research in marketing, then go for the Journal of Marketing, because that is the basic journal. If you are conducting research in industrial marketing, then in that case, you should go for the Journal of Industrial Marketing. If suppose you are conducting research in sales management, where the salesperson is going to sell products, he is going to interact with the customer, he is working with, at the shop, and the customers are coming, he is going to handle that, he is working as a medical representative, for example. In India, the medical representative are the salesperson, very visible salesperson in Indian situation. So in that case, if you want to study about that, then you should go to the Journal of Personal Selling and Sales Management, which is a basic journal, which is publishing the material on these. All of them are published from USA. Indian journals are also available. It is not that we are going to, sorry. It is not that we are going to consider that, okay, they are different. We are having Indian Institute of Management, they are publishing the journal. For example, IIM Ahmedabad is publishing Vikalpa. But their main stress in case of Vikalpa is on business policies. So the different type of strategies. So higher level journal, so higher level administrative part, if you have to study the policies and the strategies, if you are studying that area, we'll say go for that journal. The decision, for example, IIM Calcutta, or the business review of IIM Bangalore, there are many other institutions are there which are publishing this. So the journals they should be. But those journals where we are getting the contemporary research that they have been published, the seminar articles they have come in there, Journal of Marketing, Journal of Personal Selling, Journal of Advertising. So in case of this advertising, if you are going, Journal of Advertising will be of your Journal of Consumer Behavior. So the Journal of Consumer Research, you can go for that. Journal of Advertising Research, there is a separate journal where the only researchers on advertisement they are being published. So the journals are there. We'll have to know that. We have to identify that, okay, which are the basic journal, what is the impact factor. Now we are talking in terms of the the impact factor, but how many papers there are on a Scopus, so the indexing part is there. We will go for this. And see, searching them, reading them, selecting the article, topic, time consuming. There will be, it is not that, okay, one day you are going to read and you are going to do that. No, it will take some time. You have to devote that time. You will have to think over that. Abstracts which are published in the journal. See, we are having one very important journal, a very good journal in case of finance. That is Finance India. Those who are related with this commerce or business, Finance India. They are publishing the abstract of the PhD thesis which we submit. If you are sending them the thesis, the abstract, they will be publishing 4 or 5 in each journal. So they are going to publish that. Read that. You will get idea from there also. There are different case studies which are being published. Case studies are now coming in the book also. The case studies, there are case studies books separately. And these case studies are also published in the business newspaper. For example, if the business people are going to conduct research, so the case studies are being published in the business newspapers. We will have to take help from the Encyclopedia of Social Science Research. We are having different type of encyclopedias. So it is not only Encyclopedia Britannica or Encyclopedia Americana, or there are so many encyclopedias. We are having Encyclopedia of Social Sciences here in our country. So we are having, see, the industry survey. They are also being, take for example, Hindu is a newspaper which we are finding, and it's a very important newspaper, published from, first time published from Chennai, Madras, and now it is a national daily now. This Hindu newspaper used to publish the industry report every year. And that industry report, so they used to select few industries, and 1 year on this industry, another year on this industry. So the industry surveys are there. Government publications, they are also very much important. Those who are conducting research in case of economics, for example. So the economic survey, which is being placed in the parliament before the budget, which gives idea of what the government has done during 1 year period. And they are going to show you the data of last 10 years, so that the graph will be there, data will be there, the interpretation, the different type of, okay, they are going to project that in a positive manner. But as a researcher, you will have to search what is there inside. So government publication, they are very much important. So for the purpose of identification of topic, depending upon the type, we will have to go for that. So the journals, whatever we are being published, we will have to consider this. Then the research published in the book form. Now this the system has changed. Earlier, the universities used to give money for the books to be published. The researchers, they should be published in the book form. So, and there were few agencies, few publications, which were publishing that type of thesis. I remember one publication from where most of our faculty members, they got their thesis published. It was Ashish publication, APH. So the Ashish publication house now, APH they are calling now. So they used to publish this research paper, 200 copies, and then after, they were not paying, they were giving you 20 copies, you can sell at your own end, finish. So the business dailies, they are supplements. So the business daily, they are also having their supplements. So on weekly basis or sometimes, so business magazines are there. See here, there's another very important, that is your university news. This publication is coming from Association of Indian Universities. And it is a publication, it is a weekly publication, I think. See, at the end of this university news, you will find those theses which have been published, which have been submitted and evaluated in the different universities. So they will be classifying as per the subject, and they will be writing the topic, the supervisor, the institution. So you will be getting idea whatever topic is there and on what topic the thesis they have been submitted. So this university news, a very important publication. This is also going to help us. The recent textbooks. So in case of this about this textbook, one thing clear: textbooks are basically meant for the student at the classroom. The recent textbooks, those who are writing the improved version, enlarged version or something, they are added or something like that, those who are adding certain things into there. The latest textbooks, they will be helping you. Why? Because some new quotations, there are some new publications, they have been added to that. So once you are going to read that in that area, you will be finding that, okay, this has been said by some, this has been researched and it has been quoted by this author. You will be going back to that particular publication. You will be searching, you may be getting on the net and then after. So even the textbook is also going to, but the textbook is having very limited scope in research. Always keep this in mind, because most of the time we are finding that the students, they are going to quote from the textbook. Okay, it is Kotler, we say like this. One or two we accept. But very frequent quotation of the textbook, we say that it is going to reduce the value of your work. Because textbook is having its audience, and that is the classroom. It was basically meant for classroom teaching. So it is having its separate audience. It is meant for that, but it is highly informative source. So it is going to help you in getting idea that where the other material will be available. So we are not undermining this textbook and the publication. This publication is important, but textbook as a general, for the purpose of quotation, we are not accepting at a high level in case of our research. Now see the second, the next part, which is the literature review. This literature review is the part of our what we call exploratory research design. We are talking in terms of the research design. Here I will not be able to discuss that. But as a part of our academic research, this is another very important step, which I have already told you in the beginning. That the literature review, that is very important. And what we have to do in case of this literature review? We will have to see methods, content, and result. What we have to report when we are going to write in our literature review as a researcher, what we have to report. Whatever topic is there, whomsoever has conducted that research, we are going to write about his name and the year when it was published, only this much as per our APA format. Objectives of the study, what we have the objective. That objective which is related with your topic, only that objective you have to consider. Based on that objective, what were the hypotheses? So that hypothesis, you can consider them. Sometimes you say that okay, you can write also. Otherwise, objective was for this work was done. Therefore, very important is that what are the method of data collection? How the data they were collected? Where from the data were collected? That we have to. So this was the study was conducted in USA. A study was conducted in Australia. It was conducted in India, Bangladesh. So we are going to consider that. So the methods of data collection. What is then sampling is very important in case of primary data. How you have sampled it? Now, what is in case of this? What are the method of sampling? Because we are having this probability sampling, non-probability sampling. There is a classification. In case of probability sampling, also there are 4 types of sampling. So there is a detailed one that can be the convenience sampling, judgmental sampling, and all that. This snowball sampling. Many methods are. Similarly, in case of this probability sampling, we are having random sampling, the stratified random sampling, or so many simple random stratified, many others. So here, the sampling method. What method has been applied? Why? Because if he has applied some method and you find that okay, better method that can be applied on the similar type of topic, it is all right. We can go for that. So this reporting is important. What statistical tools they have been applied for the purpose of analysis? For example, I have told you that okay, somebody has used correlation, somebody has used the different regression, somebody has used the packages. For example, now we are talking in terms of that. That okay, and modeling is very important in the present condition. So at present we are finding the cluster analysis, structure equation modeling. We are having path analysis. So many methods of statistical tools they are being applied. In case of business, we understand that. So what the statistics they have been applied in this particular research. One research, one paper, one review you are going to do. These things you will have to. What is the result of that study? So up to this, from the objective to the result, and these different components in that, we will have to write down. Whenever we are going to conduct this literature review, we have to understand them very clearly, and we will also have to report them, because if we are reporting this, the quality of literature review, that is going to improve. In case of reporting, that becomes important. So the result of the study we will have to write down. After reading that, after reporting that, what has not been studied? Because what you want to study, what has already been studied, there will always be a gap. That gap you have to identify. Sometimes you will not find any gap. No problem. But you have to identify. Once you are going to read that, what you are going to do, you will have to see that, okay, is there any gap or not, which is going to help my topic? That gap will have to be identified, because the purpose of this literature review, at the end of your chapter, you will have to identify 4 or 5 gaps. So that is the basic objective of this literature review. In itself, it is a research, and it is the part of exploratory research. Exploratory research is that research where we are not very much clear about the objectives of the study and the different tools and techniques to be applied. We are going to conduct this study. That is the exploratory. When so many things we are not knowing, and to know that the basics, when we are going to conduct research, that is called exploratory research. So that part is, so literature review is also a type of research. It is a exploratory research, that's why it is unstructured, and we are going to do that. Now see, research gap identification, that will be based on your literature review, because I have to run fast. Research design. So here I have already told you that there are 3 basic, these are the basic designs, these are not the complete design, because we are having other type of designs also. Exploratory research design, literature review is one part of it. When we are not very much clear about the concept, we are not clear about the model, we are going for that type of research. Descriptive research, it is going to give you all information related with a particular phenomenon, but it is not going to give you one thing, that is the cause. The descriptive research will be giving everything related with the phenomena, but not the cause. The causal research you will have to design, where you are going to have this control group, experimental group, where you are in a position to relate the cause of one on the other. So this is another step. You will have to decide about this, which type of design you are going to adopt for that. You will have to establish your research objectives. What are the objectives of your research? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The point wise you will have to. This will be coming from the gap. What is the gap you have got from the literature review? Based on that, design your objective. In case of writing objective also, there is one thing which you have to keep in mind. Objectives are generally written in actionable form. Objectives will be written in this actionable form. What is that? For example, we have to know, we have to understand. So we will be writing to know this, this, this. To understand this, this, this. To evaluate this, this, this. To analyze this, this, this. To compare this, this, this. To contrast this, this, this. Action. So the evaluation is one action, comparison is one action, okay, understand is one action, to suggest, to recommend. So it will be written in the actionable form. So very important part, because whenever we are evaluating the thesis, we are going to check how this objective they have been written. So the objective, very clear objectives you will have to design. Why? Because this is the base. This is the foundation from where your work is going to develop now. Based on these objectives, you will have to decide what hypotheses are there. In case of hypothesis also, sometimes you are going to have the broader hypothesis. There are 2 types of hypotheses generally we use in case of researches. The one is the null hypothesis, another one is the alternative hypothesis. Based on that, we are going to have. Null hypothesis is generally written in negative form. There is no relationship. If there is no impact like this, we are designing the hypothesis. It is based on the construct, whatever ideas you are having about a particular phenomena, which you want to check based on your objectives. So this hypothesis you will have to design. Either you are going to write in terms of your null hypothesis, or you are going to, based on this null, you are going to write the alternative hypothesis, which we also call the principal hypothesis. Sometimes we are going to apply only the principal hypothesis. So in writing that also, there is When we are writing null hypothesis, we write H0. And we are writing alternative, we are writing H1. Sometimes we call HO also, but that is basically H0, H1. So it is the binary 1, 0, and 1. We are writing in that particular format. Hypothesis is very important because it is giving you the direction, it is going to help you in so many other ways. Identify information type and sources, because hypothesis will have to be tested. And for testing that hypothesis, you will have to search for the information. So what type of information you are going to select, what type of you are going to collect, and where from you are going to collect it. You will have to identify that. In case of marketing, for example, we are going to collect from the customer. If suppose we are conducting research on the management staff, managerial staff, naturally we will have to collect data from the managers. If we are collecting, we have to collect data from the directors of the company, chairman of the company. Then in that case, we will have to decide about that. So the type of information and the sources of information we will have to identify. Methods of collecting data. How are you going to collect data? Are you going to conduct interview? Or you have developed a questionnaire, you are going to leave it to the person and he is going to fill it up and he is going to send it? Or you are going to make a phone call and he is going to reply to you? Or you are going to send the email of the questionnaire and he is going to respond to that? What are the determine the methods of collecting data? How you are going to know? With the help of telephone, with the help of email, with the help of now whatever we are in WhatsApp and all that. How are you going to collect data? So you will have to determine that because they have their own limitations, they have got their own advantages. Design the data collection form, whether it is a questionnaire you have gone, questionnaire is a structured questions which you are going to frame and you are going to collect data based on that. That is a questionnaire. Or it is a loosely you are going to ask questions, that is a checklist. So there is a difference. In case of checklist, you are going to have simply indicative type of sentence which you are going to ask and the other person is going to give you. And it may be varying among the people. That's why it is just a checklist. It is not like questionnaire. Because in case of questionnaire, there are different type of questions. If suppose you are going to ask about the opinion about a particular product, for example, and you are asking, okay, are you satisfied with this product? One person will say yes, some person will say no. But if suppose it is not going to help you in any way, then you can ask that, okay, are you satisfied with this question? And he said that is strongly satisfied. And you say that, okay, simply satisfied, strongly dissatisfied, simply dissatisfied. So there is a scale type. Yeah, we can have the questionnaire in that particular. So that will be a standard. Interview schedule also. This is very close to the checklist, whatever we are having. In case of checklist, we say that, okay, it's a point wise, we are going to say that, but it is loosely designed. Interview schedule, where we are going to conduct the interview face-to-face generally, then we are going to have this interview schedule that what question I am going to ask from him and then the person is going to respond to that. So then determine your sample plan and size. What method of sampling you are going to have? You will have to have this, the plan for that. Where from you will be getting, how many people are there in that, what is the position of population and how are you going to conduct population in statistics we are using as a total number of a particular group. For example, if suppose there are 114 people who are attending this class, so we will say that, okay, they are the population. Out of these 114, if I have to contact 30 people, they will become sample. So we will have to plan for that. How many, what will be the sample size? We will have to determine according to that. So there are statistical tools in case of determination of the sample size which we consider. Then you will have to collect data. It is not only, this is the preparatory part you have done. And after that, you will have to collect the data, you will have to go, you will have to send the questionnaire, or you will have to talk to the person, you will have to conduct interview, whatever method you are going to adopt for the purpose of collecting data, collect the data. Then you will have to analyze the data, that means you will have to tabulate that data. And then after the analysis will be made with the help of the statistical tool. For example, we start from a measure of central tendency. In that case also, we start from the arithmetic mean. From there, we are going to start, okay, after that, the deviations will be calculated, the standard deviation, then whatever other statistics we are going to apply. It may be ANOVA, it may be t-test, it may be z-test. So many types of tests are there, which will be helping in determining whether your hypothesis that is going to be rejected or that is not going to be rejected, depending upon that. So analysis of the data, prepare and present the final report. Research report is very important because The person who is going to evaluate that, read that, he will be checking whatever you have written. So very important part is that whenever you are going to present this research report, proofreading is very important in this case. It is not that only one time you have written it, and no matter what language you are using and how much proficient you are, there are fair chances of mistakes in typographical mistakes of typographical nature. You will have to check that. Sometimes the packages, they are also creating problem. Recently, one of my research scholar, he has completed his thesis, and the thesis was also sent for evaluation. And evaluator has sent such a remark on that, because in few tables, it was not possible the data whatever were placed in that table. It was never possible that the data will be of that type. And I was also shocked because I had checked the thesis, there was no problem in that case. But when the candidate came, then I asked him how it has happened. It is never possible how this data has gone into the thesis. Then he said that, so sir, I know that this is not possible. Then I said that how it has gone. When I asked you to go for printing, then he said that it's some sector they were corrupt. And due to that, the data has increased. So the preparation of this report, very important part is that you have to check each and everything. It is not that the data, whatever you have placed, and that is the results they have come, and you are satisfied with that, okay, there is no problem, and it will be going like that. The final report, when you are going to present, the hard copy, you should check separately. And in case of this also, we say that don't be in a hurry when you are going for this final report submission. Take time. Check one day, sleep for 3 days. Don't do anything. Take rest. It is not that because you will not be able to identify the mistakes if you are doing yourself. If you are taking help from some of your friends, okay, that will work. Process. So I have already taken too much of your time. I am very sorry for that. So no, not now.
It's all right, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
sir.
much,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, 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 sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Not correct.
Yes.
Not correct, sir.
Not correct.
No. कौन ला रहा है? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Wow. Now I can see your faces. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Some of you I can see. Okay. Very nice.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. हाँ जी सर, जी बताइए। जी सर, जी सर। अरे बात पॉलिटेक्निक में। अच्छा। अच्छा 11 बजे से है, तो चलिए इंशाल्लाह कल 11 बजे। अरे यार कल कल वहाँ नहीं मैं हूँ तो अलीगढ़ में ही। कल कल यार वो शाह आलम का कोई प्रोग्राम है गर्ल्स कॉलेज में। कल वही 11 बजे का है टाइम। चलिए चलिए वापस होते हुए आप पहुंच जाऊंगा इंशाल्लाह, आपसे मुलाकात हो जाएगी। हाँ 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 चलिए फिर पहुंचता हूँ। जी जी सर, ठीक ठीक ठीक, ओके, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। जी सर, वालेकुम सलाम। अरे मैं यहाँ एकेडमिक स्टाफ कॉलेज में हूँ अभी। मगर लास्ट में जो बताइए कब तशरीफ कब जा रही है आपकी? मुलाकात तो अभी भी हो सकती है, मैं अभी जाऊँगा डिपार्टमेंट। हाँ सही बात है, मुझे 6 बजे। हाँ कल कल इंशाल्लाह कल मुलाकात होती है। कल तो था देर से पहुंचूंगा, 12 बजे करीब। हाँ ठीक ठीक, बस सब ठीक है, सब चल रहा है, अल्लाह का शुक्र। हाँ इंशाल्लाह ठीक, अच्छा। Okay, then we will meet in some other class.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
the.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.